Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'll be reviewing a FineArt game that I watched on FoxGo server. FineArt is white and gave 2 handicap stones to Chen Manqi, a Chinese female Go player, Go professional. I don't know much about Chen, other than that they're professional, but yeah. So before I get into the game, I do want to say that most videos I try to get up around noon, but noon Eastern Standard Time. But if you notice, this video is coming out much later than that. That's because I've been working. Tomorrow I have a tournament that I am not only directing, competing in, but also setting up. So it's run all by me. Some friends volunteer to help, of course, but it's much of the work is done by me, so I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, which has delayed this video. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, so the tournament is the 6th iteration of it. We do it biannually, and it's called the Lake Erie Go Tournament. And if you're interested, if you're in the area or just want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description to the Facebook event page if you want to check it out. And because of that, it's going to be a 4-round tournament, so I'm going to record all 4 of my games as I usually do at all tournaments, and then I'll have reviews of those games uploaded to the channel. Now, I'm indifferent, so I just want your guys' opinions. Should I upload all the tournament games in a row, or should I space them out like I did with the US Go Congress games that I uploaded, where I did them once a week? So let me know in the comments which one you prefer. And yeah, so enough of that. Let's go over this FineArt game. So this FineArt game, each game that I review of FineArt, there's something specific that I really enjoy about the game. So I believe in the last game it was Sabaki that FineArt was showing great Sabaki skills, and the game before that it was showing great fighting skills. In this game, I specifically saved this game and wanted to go over it because of the shapes that it was playing. Its shape recognition and its strength and ability to use shapes is outstanding, and you'll see that. And of course, there's some FineArt flair to some of the moves that I'll try my best to explain. But yeah, let's hop right into it. As usual, this game was 1 minute main time with 10 60-second overtime. So actually, the FineArt games are usually pretty slow. They usually take an hour, if the human lasts that long, that is. But we actually have a very interesting opening here. FineArt. The one thing AIs have taught humans is that this move is necessary if you want to pincer this stone. You do not want to immediately pincer, because it's considered that this lean is too good for black. So because of that, you will always see an AI kind of play this Shusaku's diagonal, which lost interest in professional games, before AIs, but has picked up again, and you see it a lot. This move or this move. Another option you see is just kicking and just letting black extend, but white takes the corner and takes sente. This is more of professionals really like this. You don't really see FineArt or the other AIs do this, at least in a 2-stone game. So white backs off. So now notice if black ignores, now when white pincers, this stone can't lean now, and it's pretty uncomfortable. So that's why in the game black just extends. So of course white takes the same exact move on the upper left. Black extends. White approaches. It's a symmetrical opening, so it doesn't matter which one white took. Definitely wants to play from the side that white is developing, though. Don't want to play from this side, because you're going to limit how much you can develop the bottom. You can see black's okay with kicking white here because the left side's not developable for either side. So it wouldn't really make sense for black to pincer because black is so low. And it would allow white to then build the bottom. But that's why you definitely want to play from this side. Black does play low, playing a very territorial game. You can see all of black's stones, besides the handicap stones, are on the third line. White approaches again. One thing FineArt loves to do, and I'm sure if you've watched a lot of these FineArt reviews, is that it likes to approach and then leave it. Especially if there's other things to do. It might come back. It will eventually come back to this if black doesn't get the first move, but it usually likes to just try to jump around the board as fast as possible. And we actually have a symmetrical opening so far, or mirrored opening, which is pretty interesting. White leans to get some strength in the center. So with this move, white can either take the corner, which gives black more thickness, but white, of course, takes the corner, or this move, which flattens black, so black doesn't get as many points and gives white the center. However, white now cannot seal the center in sente. Notice if white tries to do this, it's not sente. Whereas if black ignores this move is very big. So that's why usually black would respond. So that's the trade-off. White decides, okay, I'd rather have the outside than the corner. So keep that in mind. Excuse me, sorry. So white takes the outside. And still a symmetrical opening or mirrored opening. So you put a line down the, I guess the x equals 1 if this was a graph, or x equals y. If you put a line down the x equals y, it would be mirrored. White dives, now finally comes back to help these stones. But then black says, enough of your mirrored opening, I'm going to take that away. And then white plays a very strange move. Because, like, if one of my students played this move, I'd be like, what are you doing? You know, of course you need to play this. So, my reasoning that I think why FineArt didn't play this is, in the game, what happens is when white plays here, black jumps, of course. And then white jumps out with the large knight's move, which is a very natural looking move. Black slides, and then white peeps, and then covers. And you can see that because of white is able to defend against this cut naturally, black actually cannot come into white's side that much. So because of that, playing here point-wise does not gain white that much. Maybe only like 6 points or so, 6 or 7 points. If you compare white's territory here to white's territory here, it's not that big of a loss. Plus, let's say we do the same thing that happened in the game. When black covers here, not only is it looking at an invasion here, but now black's the one who has center influence, which means that these stones right here are going to get more severely attacked. So because white's playing a center-oriented game, doesn't lose too many points when black slides, and wants to keep up the pressure on these stones, this move actually makes a lot of sense. But it would not be a move I would think of. I would think, like, first I would think, okay, do I want to help this stone? Well, no, okay, I will come back to here. But FineArt says, no, we should, this move's good. So I really like this move, actually. Again, it's a move I would not think of, but once I dissect it, analyze it, it makes some sense at least. And that's one of the things in this game that I really like, is that a lot of them, like some fine art moves, it's like, whoa, or like some of its decision making, but this one says it just emphasizes shape a lot, and you'll see that. It's really, you can learn a lot from this game. Because it feels like black doesn't play any bad moves, it's just white shape is superior. Not saying black loses, by the way. I'm not spoiling the ending. So white jumps, again, gets out really fast. Black dives, white peeps, and then covers. Again, this cut is protected because of this stone here. So black kicks, and then white covers here, which again, it was not a move I would think of. I would just automatically do this. I mean, look at white shape. It's pretty good. But goes here. Lets white get this move, which is like, you know, we're taught, oh, you don't want black to get this move. But you'll see that in this case, it's actually not too bad. Because of the situation on the top, if black Ataris, white's able to cover, or even Hane first, and then cover. And you can see that this move not only protects the L18's white stone, which severely weakens this black group here, but also threatens a Ko here and the Satari. Black cannot play this way because it's very similar, but the key is white will get L18. And you can see all of a sudden black's the one on the defensive, whereas white's the one who's attacking black. So black just stands up. Doesn't really care about the couple points here, but white makes bamboo joint and then covers. Gotta stay out. White Hanes against black still cannot do anything here because of the N18. Covers. And then white double Hanes. Again, black would like to cut, but because of the N18 move helping L18, it's black cannot. And black cannot win this Ko. Even black just does not have the Ko threats. Oops. And for black to, like, I'll just put an example on the board. Maybe black does something like this. Like the loss in the upper right is huge, even though black can get compensation somewhere else. Especially because once white is alive here, that means black is not alive in the center or in the upper side. So black would like to play the Ko, but cannot. But black just covers. Shape in the corner is still good. And now white plays an 18. And like going back to here, white has no eye space, but all of a sudden is able to make 1.5 eyes. Black is able to reduce it down to 1 eye, but white would just come out. Maybe even white would go here and then come out. But you get the idea. White's shape here is very good. However, black doesn't Atari. Black comes out. But white takes this humongous Hane, which not only is a huge move if black ignores, right, as a double Atari. White scoops out the whole corner. Yeah, it's not good for black. It actually makes white alive, right? Because now, where does white go? White shoulder hits. If white goes wherever, you can see even though black can Atari, white's alive now. So white actually settled in sente, which since white's able to settle in sente, that means the black group here is a floating group. And white senses that and wants to attack this from afar. So white's shoulder hits here. Again, this move is actually attacking this center group here for black. Because black, if black's not able to live in the center, black can run to her allies. But if white plays here, you can see that it's cutting off a connection. So this is an indirect attack. This is what you want to look for. You don't want to just play moves like this and just, you know, go crazy like a direct attack like this. This is crude. It's not good. Like, you don't want to attack like this. You want to attack like this. Because if black ignores, well, then your follow-up is pretty good. But when you attack directly like this, it's sometimes hard to see what you're gaining. So you want to, if you have a group on your radar that you want to attack, you want to try to indirectly attack it. And of course, black needs to answer, and then white extends. Now, this kind of shoulder hit and then jump here, it's definitely a powerful move, but in the center, but it's not getting white any points. So really, this board is pretty close point-wise. White only has 3 points up here. Maybe has 5 points up here. Black has this upper right corner, which is bigger than both of these white areas combined. And black has prospect for points on the third line. So white needs to use its stones to the fullest. Then and black takes another territorial move. And again, FineArt's extensions. It's actually interesting because that move is the exact same pincer white used up here. Right? We have 3 spaces from, I guess, the Shusaku diagonal. Maybe we should call it the AI diagonal now. And you can see white plays from the Shusaku diagonal 3 spaces. So it's interesting why it chooses this. Because when black takes this 3-3, we usually want to do something with these stones. Maybe something like this. But white chooses this one. And then black jumps in, of course, because the spacing here is too wide. And then white plays, this isn't an AI move, but it is definitely a good move for you to know if you are going to leave these 2 stones. It's this attachment. And this attachment looks funny, but it's actually the best move. Because if you just jump, black will jump. And there's still a weakness here, and you still need to protect somehow. If you go elsewhere, maybe black won't do it now, but you can see black's actually able to cut white here. But by playing this one and black jumps, which black does in the game, white's actually looking at this Hane and attach and Atari. And this is actually a huge follow-up for this move, as opposed to this regularly jumping, where white doesn't really have a follow-up now that reduces black. So that's the point of this move. Of course, black can try to thwart what white's doing, and the thing to think of is this move, but you can see black needs to still come back and help this stone, and white's able to Hane and then turn. You can see now black needs to play this one. Black goes here, white's able to Atari and lose a huge corner. So if black plays here, black needs to do something maybe like this or Hane on this side. But either way, white's going to get the first move on the outside, which is very important. If black Hane's here, white will just Hane back. And again, black might be able to cut off the stone here. But you can see white's going to surround the bottom. And it's pretty big. So, yeah, white can even play a move like this first as well. So, this is a very good move to know. So if you're going to leave this kind of dive, and then if black takes a 3-3, if you're going to leave it, you have to know this attachment. And this is a move that humans thought of, so it's not like a surprise move. But in this case, it just definitely works very well, especially after white has made these exchanges in the center at d7 and d9. But black just jumps, knows all that, and just jumps. And I was showing how white is looking for this sort of thing. White does something strange. White peeps, which isn't strange, but then just jumps, which is a very calm move. Because it feels like white could have gotten sente. And is able to play something in the center, or even just connecting feels pretty good. But white just jumps. Oops. White just jumps here. Which, this is one of the moves that I was like, huh, this is an interesting move. Like, I can't say it's bad, but it doesn't follow what's like my understanding of the situation. So black comes out. Black really doesn't want to just jump, because white's gonna use the 2 stones here to jump out faster than black. So black comes here. Black exchanges, or white exchanges this now though, and then plays this move, which this move is, oh my god, I love this move. This move's, it's right at the shape point. It's playing from a large knight's move here, shape point here, looking like a cut here. It's the perfect move in this situation. And because of the white's looking at for this move, I think that's why white doesn't hane, because let's say white just, I don't know, connects solidly. When white looks at this move, you can see that the spacing here isn't quite perfect. Like, black has to do something on the bottom, of course, but later there's like odd of this move, or even wedge or clamp. Like, the spacing here isn't good. Like, there's no shape here. Whereas when white just jumps, there's obviously a connection here because it's a large knight's move. So white's connection here is better. So I think this is what white was looking for. Black just covers. And then white plays this large knight's move, which, remember all the way back here, I was saying, oh, these moves are good for attacking, but right now black has more points, and it's hard to see how white can make points out of this. Well, you're seeing that as long as you attack for profit, not to kill, as long as you attack for profit and not to kill, you can make points while attacking. And this is what white did. White attacked this bottom group to make points in the center. And you can see that this move not only attacks the bottom group, but also black's upper group here, which has just kind of been floating. Yeah, and the move here itself is really good, because again, I would want to try to like come from this way, but it would just kind of like let black connect very easily. But by playing here, you can see because black really can't connect to the right side of the board because of this wedge, and then there's too many cuts. So black really cannot come out into the right side. Even a move like this, there's still the agi of this wedge. And for black to play something like this is just too slow. White would just happily surround this bottom on a large scale. So not only is this like the perfect spot to make like a large knight's, double large knights here, but it's also the perfect spot in attacking black. Black Ataris. When I download the games on Fox, unlike when you download games from like KGS that saves the time that people used in the game, I'm assuming this move's a time Suji because 1, it's a co-threat, and 2, white never wants to play this move anyways, like to prevent black from Ataring the stone, because there's a very famous Teisuji that black can play to capture stones on the upper side. If you don't know it, I'll give you a second to think about it. Black can play at N19. And you can see white can't Atari at M19 because it's a self-Atari. White can't Atari at O19 because it's a self-Atari. However, this move is threatening 2 snapbacks. One at M18 and one at O18. So if white saves these, black can throw in. And this is a snapback. Same thing on this side. So really, white will never play here. Even just coming down, white will need to protect. So white would only increase its points by 2 in Gote. So I can only imagine this as a time Suji. because it's a co-threat, and white would never really play that move. Black jumps, peep, cover, white covers, and then black covers here. And this is saying, okay, I care more about the outside. Like, white could have taken the corner, which is a big corner, but then black would be able to loosely connect. So white's saying, okay, the outside's more important to me. So whenever there's like a situation like this where you need to make sure you wait until you know which one you want. Like, would I rather take the points in the corner or take the outside? In this case, this move just feels bigger because the point gain here is not very much for black or white. And then white plays a knight's move. Again, splitting the center group and the bottom group. Black jumps. White peeps. And then plays a knight's move here. But not only is it a knight's move here, but it's also a large knight's move here. My style of Go is I really emphasize shape. I think if you have good shape recognition, and know how to kind of exploit your opponent's shape, you're going to have a huge advantage in the opening, in fighting, even in endgame. So that's why I really emphasize shape. Maybe it's also because Japanese, and the Japanese really, at least stereotypically, when they were like, maybe in the early 2000s when they like ran the Go world, even before like the 90s, they really emphasized shape. Not so much anymore, but even still, having good shape is definitely, it's always going to give you an advantage. And you can see here, white's shape here. It's like I can identify so many shapes here. It's crazy. So yeah, this is why I really like this game, because white's shape is superb. Absolutely superb. But since white strengthened black on the bottom, black then splits here. White covers and then cuts, and then black Ataris. Again, my first instinct would be, or something I would think about, is to go here. But it doesn't really work because black can just extend. And then when I extend down, this moves sente, and then black can just kill off the stones. So that doesn't work. This move works a little bit better. But even if black, like if black comes down this way, you can see it works a little bit better, but white's still behind in this liberty race. So that's why in the game, white just extends. And then black covers. The point of the cover is that it's trying to make, if white ignores, this move is sente. Like, black has a follow-up. Whereas, if black turns and then covers, you can see now this move doesn't work, because white has one extra liberty. So again, taking away liberties applies pressure. I learned that at the Go Congresses this year. Taking away liberties applies pressure. However, where this move has its faults is that it leaves a cut here, which in and of itself doesn't work. However, you'll see that white actually is able to wedge and then cut. And you can see black shape here gets really bad. And you might think, oh, well, black can extend. But because of this exchange white did at move like 12 or something, extending doesn't really help black. It actually helps white, because now white's outside is super thick and white still has sente. Same thing if does it here. You can see white's shape here is actually perfect. So that's why black just takes immediately. You can see this stone isn't any stronger. White has an empty triangle. So, but still the squeeze is big. And now that white has squeezed, you'll see white extends here. Even though black can take this, because white had gotten the squeeze already, the value of these 3 stones has gone down. And white plays here, which of course black does not have time to play at 0-2 anyways. So black plays a move in the corner. White hanes, and then connects solidly. And then white jumps, and you can see all of a sudden white's making a ton of points in the center. Like, how did this happen? And it feels like for like the past, I don't know, 20, 30 moves that white has played, it's been sente. Like, if I were to go back, I'm not sure black ever ignored white. So it's interesting to see how black, like, again, all of black's moves seem logical and make sense, but just black's surely falling slowly and slowly behind. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I don't know what black could have done differently. On the fight, on the bottom, on the top, like, it's crazy. Black attaches and white just extends back. Hanaing actually kind of gives black an eye while leaving a weakness for white. Whereas when white extends, if black ignores, white's actually able to take out this eye. So this move will actually help black make eye space while leaving white weaknesses. So white just pulls back, doesn't leave any weaknesses. Black plays at the shape point, of course, to make an eye here. For now, black is alive. Or it's because black actually has SGF coming out in this to the right side still. So now white plays here, which is a huge move. But again, black didn't have time to play there because, oh look, even if I can somehow run out, oh well, white just created the Red Sea and has a ton of points there all of a sudden. So white extends. Black plays this move, which looks strange, but black needs to do something for the life and death of this group, and white plays a very sharp move. This attachment. So what is this attachment doing? So if black tries to do anything too forceful, like directly, it's threatening to cut off this knight's move, right? It's trying to cut off this black stone at b10. So if black extends up, white will be able to cut it off. If black tries to do anything too aggressively, though, white's able to push through this way. And you can see white's able to, because of this exchange, white's able to cut off the stone here. Now, a lot of people would push first and then cover. Now, this does the same thing. However, the difference is when black extends up and does something like this, you have made these 3 stones heavier because you've taken away a liberty. Plus, you've actually given black more eye space as well because you've pushed. If you don't make that exchange, you can see you don't need to push down now because one, you're taking away liberty. Like these stones have 4 liberty still, so they're still pretty light. And you wouldn't make this push now because there's much better moves. Like if you wanted to take away eyes, you could just play a dive here. You could maybe come down like this. So this move is unnecessary. Oops. And black going here, it actually doesn't help black much because black's eye space is still wide open. So this move is very sharp, very sharp. And you can see black can't really do much but just let white get what white wants. And again, look at the past. I won't do it, but if I'll have the like in all these AI videos, I'll have the game record in the description. Check out for the past like 25 moves. How many times did black end in Gote, or how many times did white get to play where white wanted? It's insane. Because now white has flattened black to the second line and comes back and again plays this move, which is threatening the upper side group. So black extends. Now black does have enough space to live because white needs to cover. These moves are sente. And then black can, let's see, go here first? Yeah, go here first. And then can, not that one. How did black live? Or how does black? Just go here? I had a way for black to live. Black can definitely live, though. Either way, black's going to live small here. Yeah, how did black live? Because this move is what I'm worried about. Oh, is it by going here? It might be because of this move. Yeah, this is the move. Okay. I figured it out. Yeah, white can't go there, so white needs to go here. So black will live with 4 points. But maybe white can surround this on a large scale and go here directly. So that's why, again, white just leaves it for now and attaches. Black hanes, white extends, black covers, and white peeps. Sorry, it's getting ahead of myself. And then white attaches. And this attachment, you're okay. Like, these attachments might look strange, but you're okay with attaching because usually touching stones makes stones stronger. But because black is already super strong in the upper right, if you make a strong group stronger, it's just strong. Now, if you attach to a weak stone, you're going to make a weak stone stronger, which is not good. But if you make a strong stone stronger, it's just strong. So that's why white attaches here. Black hanes, and then white double hanes on the second line. Now, a lot of people's instincts would be to go here, which would be mine as well. If black just Ataris, though, you can see that this sequence here would be just too good for white. White just connects out. White can capture this stone or attack the bottom right. So that wouldn't be good. But black can play a little bit stronger by haneing once. If white covers, then black can get this Atari, which makes a huge difference. You can see white's options are much more limited. White can go there, but then, maybe that one. Black would be able to come back, maybe. White doesn't really gain many points here. Black actually makes a pretty large upper right and is able to get the first move back here. So that wouldn't be good for white. However, white can turn. If black covers, white will just extend here. And black has weakness double Atari here, and the group's still not alive here. White can also think about extending here. If black just connects, white's able to Atari and capture these 2 stones. But black can Atari first. If black continues to Atari, this would be good for white or for black because black can just connect, and you can see. Actually, no, it wouldn't be because white can actually hane here or push here. If black keeps extending, white will extend, and again, white's going to be able to attack this bottom right, even though black will capture the 4 stones here. White will get the first move in the bottom right, which is pretty big. AKA, it probably kills the group. If black hanes here, white's able to Atari and then even come down because black would like to be able to cut, but because of white stones here, white actually can capture black in a ladder. Black would probably still cut and then squeeze. But even this is not a terrible result for white. Black can capture, but it would be Gote now. So black captures. And this would probably still result in a win for white. So black at this point would need to add a move here or something like this to prevent white wedging here. But then white can actually Atari and push through, and you can see black just covers, white can capture these 3 stones. So black needs to do something to help these 3 stones. However, this move would then become sente. Again, if black covers, white will be able to capture. So black would need to come on this side, but then white cuts and takes the corner. So I don't know how much of that black read out, but black just knew that there's not enough aji, or there's too much aji. Covers and then needs to extend. White now cuts. Black extends. White extends. Black covers. Again, if white's able to play a move like this, white would be able to kill this group. And because white has more outside friends, now black's in danger. So that's why black pushes. However, it allows white to go here. Black extends, comes down, covers, and then now white just takes the 3 stones here. And at this point, black resigns because black just does not have enough points. After white made maybe 20, 25 points in the center here, and then made even 6 points or so on the right side, with the bottom right, upper left, black just does not have any points to compete with white, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, crazy game. I just really want to emphasize the shape here. If you take anything from this game, it's the shape. The only really complicated stuff was the stuff on the right side, but besides that, all of white's moves made at least some sense. It really just emphasized shape in this game. So yeah, I really enjoyed this game. You could definitely learn a lot from this game because of the shapes. So I would highly recommend, if you need help with strong shapes, how to use strong shapes, taking sente, that's another big thing from this game. I would definitely go through this game again, because this is definitely a very good game to review. Because again, a lot of the moves white was playing was very understandable. So yeah, definitely one of my favorite FineArt games. Felt like black always had gote. It was crazy. Always had gote. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out the video description for a link to the Lake Erie Go tournament informational page on Facebook, as well as the game record for this game. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section, and I will see you all in the next video.